Thunder is out of timeouts. Adams gives it back to Russ. Deep shot. What a perfect ending to a historic day. Westbrook gives the Thunder the victory at the buzzer.
On August 12, 2026, the most relentless, unapologetic, and polarizing superstar in modern basketball history officially walked away. No press conference, no season-long retirement tour, just a short, cinematic video narrated by Michael B. Jordan, captioned with 7 words that perfectly sum up his entire existence. You had to be there, and now it's over. After 18 seasons, 209 triple-doubles, an MVP award, and over 27,000 points, Russell Westbrook's NBA story is officially complete. And yet, as the basketball world looks back on his legacy, we are left with one of the most baffling paradoxes the sport has ever seen. How does a man who holds the undisputed record for the most triple-doubles in human history end up treated as a tragic figure in the modern era? We live in an age dominated by analytical efficiency, second-apron cap restrictions, and zero-sum ring culture. And in that cold, mathematical world, Russell Westbrook became the ultimate outlier. A player who played with an intensity so terrifying that it broke box scores, broke records, and eventually broke the narrative surrounding his own greatness. To understand the tragic beauty of Brodie, you have to rewind to 2016. When Kevin Durant left Oklahoma City, Logic said the Thunder were dead. Logic said a 6'3" guard could not single-handedly carry a franchise on his back. Russell Westbrook took that logic and burned it to the ground. In 2016-17 season, Russ did what was widely considered mathematically impossible. He averaged a 30-point triple-double for an entire 82-game calendar. He broke Oscar Robertson's 55-year-old single-season record with 42 triple-doubles. He won the league MVP. For one glorious year, basketball pureness won. Westbrook was a human force of nature.
Oh, do you believe that guy? Westbrook just hammers the rim. Thunder by 3 with 7.1 remaining. Westbrook shows from the basketball, goes to the rim, and sticks the dagger.
He didn't care about his shot selection, he didn't care about the long-term wear and tear on his knees, and he certainly didn't care about what basketball nerds wrote in the spreadsheets. He played every single night like someone had insulted his family before tip-off. And for a short moment, we thought that level of unbridled passion could last forever. But NBA math is cruel. As the late 2010s transitioned into 2020s, the league underwent a radical revolution. The three-pointer became king. Efficiency replaced effort. Space and pacing rendered non-shooting guards an endangerment. And slowly, the very traits that made Westbrook legendary became the weapons critics used to dismantle him. When he was traded to Houston, then Washington, then the Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets, and finally Sacramento, the narrative shifted. The media stopped talking about his 209 triple-doubles. They stopped talking about his 2 scoring titles and 3 assist titles. Instead, they calculated his true shooting percentage down to the decimal point. They counted his pull-up jumper misses. They blamed him for ruining team spacing. When the NBA introduced the Second-Apron CBA rules, high-usage, inefficient veterans on max or mid-level deals were suddenly treated like radioactive assets. A player who once demanded a $205 million supermax was suddenly accepting veteran minimums just to stay on an NBA bench. The league didn't just evolve away from Russell Westbrook's style of play. It made his style of play economically non-viable. Many superstars in his position would have walked away bitter. They would have refused the bench role, blamed the media, or checked out mentally. Instead, Russell Westbrook showed us something even rarer in modern sports: humility without submission. In his final years across LA, Denver, and Sacramento, Russ transformed. He embraced coming off the bench. He locked in on defense, dived for loose balls, and brought the exact same 100-mile-per-hour energy for 18 minutes a night that he used to bring for 40. He knew the world was laughing at his declined athleticism. He knew his jumper wasn't falling, but he refused to alter who he was. He didn't play for analytics department. He played for the game. So how will history truly remember Russell Westbrook? Will he be remembered by his spreadsheet era as an inefficient, ringless star who played too fast for his own good? Or will he be remembered for what he truly was? In an era where stars rest on back-to-backs, load manage through January, and curate their public image to protect their efficiency stats, Russell Westbrook was the last of a dying breed. A warrior who gave every single drop of sweat, muscle, and emotion to the hardwood every single night. You didn't have to like how he played. You didn't have to agree with his shot selection, but as Russ said in his final farewell, you had to be there, and now it's over.
Every museum has a curator, and every exhibit, they have a story. But some stories don't need someone to tell them. They just speak for themselves. So tonight, I'm not going to tell you what any of this means. I'm just going to show you. And I'm going to ask him a few questions along the way, not because I expect an answer, but because some things deserve to be asked, even in silence. This one's from the inner city of South Central. Before any of it, before the triple-doubles, before the MVP, before anybody outside of Los Angeles knew his name. Because why not? This was the next chapter. The Sonics made him the number 4 pick in 2008. No one in OKC could have told you what he'd become. And this is the one people point to, like it explains everything. It doesn't. Well, not really. Russ, what kept you going all those years? What made you get back up night after night when the whole league had a highlight reel of you falling down? Yeah, I figured that. You know, people forget.
Nobody knew who I was. Nobody knew who I was.
Before he was a walking headline, he was just a kid from inner city LA who could jump higher than anybody had a right to. Somewhere between the dunks and the draft classes, he became something else. Not just a player, a personality. A meme before we even called it that. A husband, a father, a guy in a kilt at the Met, daring anybody to say something. What did winning mean to you? I mean, really? No, not just the trophies. The actual feeling of it. Some things you don't say. You just play them over and over until everyone else understands too. Because why not? This swing isn't finished yet. That's not a mistake. We left it this way on purpose. Because whatever's next, the mentorship, the foundation, the kids who are going to grow up wanting to move just like he did, that part hasn't been built yet either. Were you ever afraid of what happens after the game stops needing you? This swing isn't finished. Neither is he. And that's the point. Last question. Now that you decided to step away from everything on your own terms, what are you the most proud of? That might be the best interview I've ever done. He didn't say a word. And somehow, I understood everything.